Good morrow, Shakespeare lovers. It's been a little while. I don't think I posted last week. My apologies about that. I had thought that I was going to have time when I came back to my home in Los Angeles after being on the road for a while. That did not happen. Life just came in a wonderful way. You know, I'm busy, but it's all good. I just didn't have time to come and prepare a new scene with for you today. It's another short scene, and it's interesting. You know, we've been having a few short scenes in a row here, and what can be lost in this is the pace of the play. So these are little droplets. This is another very happy scene. This is just before the marriage of Romeo and Juliet. And these are little droplets of happiness that are being sprinkled in. They're just delightful, and they're not big dollops, you know. They're not extended scenes. They're just enough to charm the audience and make them fall in love with these characters. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the nurse and Friar Lawrence. You know, like arguably these two characters are getting Romeo and Juliet killed. They are facilitating them getting together. The nurse by carrying messages back and forth, and of course Friar Lawrence by actually marrying them. I'm sure if either one of them had 20/20 hindsight, they would have refused. But I think it's very important that these characters are not portrayed as fools. You can't know what's going to happen in the future. And I think one has to support love. Even in a violent town, that's hope, you know? And if these two young lovers are united, it might bring peace to Verona. You know, there's great reason to hope. It's just that I think that both characters, there are reasons people could make the mistake in playing them, of trying to play them as fools, and I think that's very dangerous. Specifically with Friar Lawrence, you know, the nurse is a comedic character, but she's strong. I think she's smart. I don't think she's educated, but who cares? And I think that she is Juliet's mother in all the important ways except biology, you know. Friar Lawrence is a wonderful mentor to Romeo. And I think that, you know, it reflects well on Romeo. I've mentioned it before that he chooses a priest to be his mentor. Like he's not a gambler, you know. It's not a Henry V situation where you have a Falstaff as the mentor, like dragging him down into gambling and whoring and all of that. It's not an actor, you know, who's gonna like lead him into sketchy stuff. It's not a merchant who's going to teach him how to make money. It's a priest who's really going to be talking about important things. To an Elizabethan audience, you know, having a priest as your mentor would be maybe the wisest choice. And Friar Lawrence is just brutal with Romeo. He's constantly going, "Oh no, that's not right. Think of it this way, man." And I think that he's only doing that because they have a relationship where that's allowable. That Romeo is a teachable person. That he's not. Friar Lawrence is not afraid that Romeo is going to cut him off if he tells him what he doesn't want to hear. You know, Romeo can take the truth, and I think it speaks well of both of them. And I think that Friar Lawrence is a very wise man, and I think he should be played that way. Anyway, so it starts out, the friar just says, "So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not." Basically, it's nighttime. And the friar is saying, you know, heaven is smiling on your upcoming marriage, young man. It's not raining. The weather is pleasing. It's a wonderful, beautiful night, and even the heavens are saying so. And Romeo says, "Amen, amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love devouring death do what he dare. It is enough I may call her mine. That's a little foreshadowing. I think he's saying, I'll take some rain, I'll take whatever. It doesn't matter what comes. I just want Juliet. And Friar Lawrence gets a little brutal. He says, these violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die, like fire to powder, which when they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. Very, very famous line. These violent delights have violent ends, often quoted. And in their triumph they die. Like fire to powder. So this is back before bullets, and when you fired a gun or a cannon, you had to pack the ball in first, and then you had to have some wadding, and then you had gunpowder first, then the projectile, then wadding. You had to do that separately, and then you had to light it on fire, and it was all single shots. So he's just saying, if you love so passionately, it's probably going to burn out, young man. Take it slow. He's like, it's impossible to take it too slow. They're getting married. He couldn't stop that. He was trying to rein Romeo in before, but that failed. So now he's still arguing to, don't give over to the full fire of love. It might burn out like as quickly as firing a cannon. And I love this. The sweetest honey is loathsome in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. That thing, if you eat too much honey, it's kind of like, it's too much. It's too sweet, and it ruins your appetite. Have you ever had baklava? You can only have one piece of that, man. Try 2 baklava. Ew, too much. And this beautiful line, therefore love moderately. Long love doth so. And then he's just so brutal. He goes, and then Juliet enters, and she's quiet. She's running, but she's not making a lot of noise. He says, "Here comes the lady. Oh, so light of foot will never wear out the everlasting flint." That's a reference to rain being able to decompose stone over time. And he's saying, so light of foot would, so your footsteps are softer than raindrops. That's what he's saying. A lover may bestride the gossamer that idles in the wanton summer air, and yet not fall. So light is vanity. So a gossamer is a spider web. A spider web that idles in the wanton summer air, the sensual summer air. So a lover could run along a spider web and yet not fall. So light is vanity. Vanity is an interesting word. It really is meaning transitory earthly love. But it does mean that, but the secondary meaning is kind of pejorative. It's kind of a little critique on the dangers of love. So Friar Lawrence just never passes up an opportunity to put it. He's not digging on love. He's just kind of trying to moderate them constantly in a humorous way. And then he says, Romeo shall thank thee. Good even. And Juliet says, good even to my ghostly confessor. Ghostly just means spiritual. Friar says, Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both. Then Juliet says this wonderful thing. As much to him, else is his thanks too much. So she says, I'll give the same greeting to him, which is good even. No kissing, because else is his thanks too much. I don't want him to start macking on me, so I'm just going to say hi. I'm not going to kiss you right now. Even if I'm marrying you, I am not going to open myself up to just all of that right now, especially in front of a priest. I love Juliet. And Romeo says, "Ah, Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blaze in it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue enfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter." He's basically saying, tell me how happy you are to marry me. Blazon means to call out. And Juliet says, again, she's 13, but she's very wise. Juliet says, conceit, more rich in matter than in words, brags of his substance, not of ornament. Conceit meaning understanding. Understanding is more rich with matter than in just words. You're asking for words, and we're going to be doing an action. Conceit, understanding, brags of his substance, not of ornament. Not of ornament. Words being ornament. She says, they are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love has grown to such excess that I cannot sum of half my wealth. She's basically saying, words fail me. Like, words, first of all, are just words. Actions count. But I'm so happy, there are no words for how happy I am, for how rich I feel in marrying you. So she pushes back on him lovingly, but she also says, I'm every bit as happy as you hope I am. There are no words. And then Friar says, come with me, and we will make short work. For by your leaves we shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate two in one. So basically, let's go get you guys married. And so again, a very short scene, but a lot is laid down. This is one of the great things about Shakespeare. He's able to do a lot with a few words. Again, the friar is laid out as a wise man who's not afraid of speaking the truth. He is trying to keep them from fully giving over to the just spirals of passion. And Juliet is revealed to be a very smart 13-year-old, indeed. But the whole thing is just awash in love and hope for the future. And when next we meet, the wide, violent world is going to start pushing back.